Alright guys, it's been a while. We are back on the Little Lawton Gaming channel with a new game and a new series. It's F1 2022 and it is 10 seasons simulated. If you're excited for this, then please do click that like button down below. Otherwise, let's get straight into it with Bahrain. So in our first race weekend on F1 2022, it's Charles Leclerc that picks up victory in Bahrain, Max Verstappen second, Sergio Perez third, Russell fourth, Sainz fifth, Hamilton in sixth, Alonso seventh, Bottas eighth, Tsunoda ninth, and Esteban Ocon ensured it was a double points finish for Alpine. Last year this was at the back end of the calendar, but the second race weekend on F1 2022 is Saudi Arabia and Charles Leclerc makes it back-to-back wins in the Ferrari. Verstappen once again in second place, Carlos Sainz rounds off the podium in third, Checo is fourth, Russell and Hamilton in fifth and sixth for Mercedes, Alonso once again up there, seventh place, Bottas is eighth, Gasly ninth, and Ocon once again finishing in 10th. And race number 3 is Australia, where Charles Leclerc makes a hat-trick, 3 wins out of 3 so far this season. Verstappen second again, Sainz rounding off the podium yet again. Perez was 4th, Russell and Hamilton 5th and 6th. Alonso once again 7th. There's not much change in these rankings. Bottas 8th, Tsunoda 9th, and Mick Schumacher got the final point for Haas. Race weekend 4 brought our first sprint race, and the point scorers were Charles Leclerc in first, Verstappen second, Hamilton third, Perez fourth, Russell fifth, Ocon sixth, Alonso seventh, and Magnussen got the final point in 8th. And then in the Grand Prix, Charles Leclerc managed to convert to a victory. Max Verstappen second, Sainz third, Perez fourth, Russell fifth, Hamilton dropped all the way down to 6th, Alonso 7th, Ocon 8th, Bottas 9th, and Magnussen finished 10th. And Leclerc's storming start to the season continues in Miami with a victory. Sainz made it a 1-2 for Ferrari, Russell and Hamilton doing really well in 3rd and 4th, Perez 5th, Alonso 6th, Norris 7th, Bottas 8th, Schumacher 9th, and Gasly got that final point for AlphaTauri. And that means after 5 races, Charles Leclerc leads the Drivers' Championship on 137 points. Verstappen is 2nd, Sainz 3rd, Perez 4th, Russell 5th, Hamilton 6th, Alonso 7th, Bottas 8th, Ocon 9th, and Norris rounds off the top 10. And in the Constructors, Ferrari lead the way on 210 points, Red Bull 64 points off the pace, Mercedes 3rd, Alpine 4th, Alfa Romeo 5th, McLaren 6th, AlphaTauri 7th, Haas 8th, Aston Martin 9th, and Williams are in last place. Next up was Spain, where Carlos Sainz wins the Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc not winning for the first time, also not finishing for the first time. Verstappen was 2nd, Hamilton 3rd, Russell 4th, Perez 5th, Alonso 6th, Bottas 7th, Magnussen 8th, Ocon 9th, and Norris was in 10th. Next up was Leclerc's home Grand Prix, where he managed to win ahead of Max Verstappen in 2nd, Russell rounded off the podium in 3rd, Sainz 4th, Hamilton 5th, Perez 6th, Norris 7th, Bottas 8th, Magnussen 9th, and Alonso finished in 10th. Sticking with the street tracks, Azerbaijan was next, where Charles Leclerc once again finished in first place. Absolutely dominant so far this season. Sainz made it a 1-2 for Ferrari, Verstappen 3rd, Perez 4th, Russell 5th, Hamilton 6th, Norris 7th, Magnussen 8th, Alonso 9th, and Valtteri Bottas got the final point in 10th. Can anybody stop Leclerc this season as he wins again in Canada? Sainz once again 2nd, Hamilton getting on the podium in 3rd, Verstappen 4th, Perez 5th, Norris 6th, Ocon 7th, Ricciardo 8th, Alonso 9th, and Gasly in 10th. 10 races in and he's won 9 of them. Charles Leclerc wins in Britain, Verstappen 2nd, Sainz 3rd, Hamilton 4th, Russell 5th, Norris 6th, Perez 7th, Magnussen 8th, Schumacher 9th, and Alonso got that final point in 10th. Next up we had another sprint weekend, and it was Charles Leclerc who won the sprint race in Austria. Verstappen 2nd, Russell 3rd, Hamilton 4th, Sainz 5th, Perez 6th, Norris 7th, and Magnussen got the final point in 8th. And Charles Leclerc managed to convert that pole into a victory. Carlos Sainz coming from 15th on the grid to get second. Hamilton 3rd, Russell 4th, Perez 5th, Norris 6th, Magnussen 7th, Bottas 8th, Schumacher 9th, and Ocon got that final point in 10th. And as the races keep coming, the wins for Charles Leclerc keep coming as he wins in France. Verstappen 2nd, Sainz 3rd, Hamilton 4th, Russell 5th, Perez 6th, Alonso 7th, Magnussen 8th, Norris 9th, and Daniel Ricciardo finished 10th. And in the final race before the mid-season break, Leclerc wins yet again in Hungary. Verstappen 2nd, Hamilton rounded off the podium in 3rd, Sainz 4th, Perez 5th, Alonso 6th, Norris 7th, Russell 8th, Bottas 9th, and Magnussen picked up a point for Haas in 10th. And heading into the mid-season break, it is obviously Charles Leclerc leading the Drivers' Championship on 325 points. Sainz, his teammate, is second, 113 points off the pace. Verstappen is third, Hamilton 4th, Perez 5th, Russell 6th, Alonso 7th, Norris 8th, Bottas 9th, and Magnussen rounds off the top 10. And just as their drivers are dominating the Drivers' Championship, Ferrari have a 190-point lead over Red Bull in the Constructors. Mercedes are third, Alpine fourth, McLaren fifth, Haas sixth, Alfa Romeo seventh, AlphaTauri eighth, Aston Martin ninth, and Williams prop up the field in 10th. And after the mid-season break, it's as you were business-wise as Charles Leclerc wins in Belgium, Verstappen 2nd, Sainz 3rd, Russell 4th, Hamilton 5th, Perez 6th, Norris 7th, Magnussen 8th, Alonso 9th, and Bottas finished in 10th. He's done it again, and this time in Max Verstappen's home Grand Prix. It's Charles Leclerc who wins in the Netherlands, Verstappen 2nd, Sainz 3rd, Russell 4th, Hamilton 5th, Bottas 6th, Norris 7th, Alonso 8th, Magnussen 9th, and Ricciardo picking up that point in 10th. They've already won once in Italy this season. Well, they've done it again at Monza as Charles Leclerc wins the Grand Prix, Russell 2nd, Verstappen 3rd, Sainz 4th, Hamilton 5th, Norris 6th, Perez 7th, Schumacher 8th, Bottas 9th, and Magnussen finished in 10th. Finally, Leclerc's run is over as George Russell wins in Singapore ahead of teammate Lewis Hamilton, making it a Mercedes 1-2. Verstappen rounds off the podium, Leclerc 4th, Norris 5th, Sainz 6th, Bottas 7th, Alex Albon 8th, Ricciardo 9th, and Alonso was in 10th. But as we finish off the Asian leg, Charles Leclerc returns to winning ways in Japan. Sainz makes it a 1-2 for Ferrari. Russell rounded off the podium in 3rd, Norris 4th, Verstappen 5th, Hamilton 6th, Perez 7th, Ricciardo 8th, Bottas 9th, and Magnussen 10th. He just keeps winning this season as Leclerc wins in America. Verstappen 2nd, Sainz rounds off the podium in 3rd, Hamilton 4th, Norris 5th, Perez 6th, Bottas 7th, Schumacher 8th, Alonso 9th, and Magnussen is in 10th. It's taken him to the 20th race of the season, but Max Verstappen finally wins a race this season ahead of Charles Leclerc in 2nd, Hamilton rounds off the podium in 3rd, Russell 4th, Sainz 5th, Perez 6th, Alonso 7th, Norris 8th, Ricciardo 9th, and Ocon finished in 10th. And with 2 races left, Charles Leclerc has a 161 point lead over Max Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship. Sainz is 3rd, Hamilton 4th, Russell 5th, Perez 6th, Norris 7th, Alonso 8th, Bottas 9th, and Magnussen rounds off the top 10. And in the Constructors, Ferrari have a 287 point lead over Red Bull. They have dominated this season. Mercedes are 3rd, McLaren 4th, Alpine 5th, Alfa Romeo 6th, Haas 7th, AlphaTauri 8th, Williams 9th, and Aston Martin, the only team pointless, in 10th. And in the penultimate race weekend, we do have a sprint race where Charles Leclerc wins the sprint in Brazil, Sainz 2nd, Russell 3rd, Hamilton 4th, Verstappen 5th, Norris 6th, Perez 7th, and Ricciardo got that final point in 8th. And then in the Grand Prix, Leclerc wins ahead of Max Verstappen, Sainz 3rd, Hamilton 4th, Russell 5th, Norris 6th, Alonso 7th, Ricciardo 8th, Perez all the way down in 9th, and Bottas was 10th. Next up is the final race in Abu Dhabi, where Charles Leclerc wins, kind of fitting considering the season he's had. Hamilton 2nd, Verstappen 3rd, Sainz 4th, Norris 5th, Perez 6th, Ricciardo 7th, Alonso 8th, Bottas 9th, and Magnussen finished in 10th. And that means in our first season, the Drivers' Championship finished with Charles Leclerc 184 points ahead of Max Verstappen. Sainz was 3rd, Hamilton 4th, beating his teammate Russell in his first season at Mercedes. Perez was 6th, Norris 7th, Alonso 8th, Bottas 9th, and Magnussen rounded off the top 10. And in the Constructors, it's Ferrari who win the Constructors' Championship in the first season, 332 points ahead of Red Bull. Mercedes were 3rd, McLaren 4th, Alpine 5th, Alfa Romeo 6th, Haas 7th, AlphaTauri 8th, Williams 9th, and Aston Martin finished pointless in 10th. So that is it. Charles Leclerc and Ferrari dominate the 2022 season on F1 2022. 2023 will be coming very soon. I'm sorry I've been away for so long, but believe me, I'm back. Drop the video a like, give the channel a subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.